Hello everyone, welcome to my review of V Rising. All footage in this video is taken from the PC version, even though the actual review is based on the PlayStation 5 version. I'm sorry, I did try getting footage from the PlayStation 5, but for some reason my connection was never great and I was getting very low resolution, so I opted to ask a friend to get some footage for me, and this is the reason why I am actually using the footage for the PC version before anyone asks. Okay, so here we go, let's dive into it, shall we? As I said, this review is written by myself and has been edited by my partner. It's from a written version which can be found on the website. This is the video version. So when you first start V Rising, you can play with some of the settings, jump into the game, create a character, and then you arise from your crypt as a feeble vampire, a pathetic vampire. You are starving, and you need blood. The game is developed by Stunlock Studios. It's an open-world survival game and promises a gothic adventure like no other. Now, the early access, if you are privy to it, when it first came out, it was jaunting. It wasn't quite there. It felt like a never-ending survival game. It lacked any polish, as you know yourself. With most early access games, you find that the developers will work on it, and Stunlock Studios have worked on it and worked on it and worked on it. They have poured their heart and soul into the game, and on the release of patch 1.1, which is the final release, it's also the release on PlayStation 5, they have worked their magic. New regions, new story, new lore, new challenges. The developers have really poured their heart and souls into expanding the world and making it better than what it was. And of course, the PlayStation 5, you get a pure, perfect experience. Not like a PC where you can alter and change everything to your preferred settings, but on console, you get what you get, and it's a good experience. You're not going to get a bad experience playing this game at all. So what is the gameplay like? Well, it's around about survival and hunting. You are stalking the night and keep to the shadows during the day because sunlight will literally kill you. You need to adapt and learn at every key stage of the game. Crafting and build mechanics are intrinsic to the game and for me, they were deeply satisfying. Even when I had to construct my first wooden castle, and then as I got through the game, creating my ominous vampire lord castle with a stupidly huge spires and hidden chambers and you name it. I went to town, and you can get the Castlevania DLC as well. That just makes it even better. So if you get in this game, try and get the Castlevania DLC as well. Now, the main part of this game is hunting. So in V Rising, boss hunting is a fundamental aspect. It drives your character progression. The bosses are known as V-Blood carriers. They will drop unique V-Blood, which will grant you new vampire skills and crafting recipes. Everything is facilitated through the Blood Altar, a structure you will build within your castle. This also allows you to track bosses using Blood Scent Trail. The tracking mechanic adds an element of exploration and preparation into the hunt. Of course, preparation will be key in V Rising. Ensure that your gear and weapons are at their best. Equipping effective abilities and learning all are crucial steps. Each boss has their distinct attack patterns, and of course they also have their weaknesses and can be exploited. And understanding these mechanics can significantly increase your chances of success. If you play Souls-like games, you know you have to study bosses, learn the mechanics so you can kill them. But don't worry, V Rising is not a one-hit wonder or two-hit wonder where you're dead. But you will need to focus and learn, okay? If you're lucky enough, you might have friends along the way. They can team up and it can be much more beneficial in the game if you have friends with you, as it can get quite challenging as a solo player. So this progression system allows for continual development for both your character and your base, enabling you to take your formidable challenges as you advance throughout the game. Like I said, crafting is key, and it's key to survival as you become a vampire lord. You will start with mere resources like wood, stone, plant fibers, and even animal hides, and craft your essential tools and weapons and armor. Your first structures are not exactly great, wooden and bone, but as you progress, like I said, you will create specialized rooms, workshops, alchemy labs, and storage rooms. The essential crafting stations like sawmills, furnaces, workbenches, and alchemy tables will allow you to produce advanced items and materials. Resource management, I would say, is definitely crucial. You need to farm, hunt, gather, and mine to sustain your base and expand your territory, establish outposts, build defensive structures, and even raid enemy bases. Of course, as you advance through the game, crafting, you get more crafting skills. Like you can enchant weapons and armor, tailoring advanced clothing, engineering complex mechanisms, and brewing those powerful potions. Efficient crafting and strategic resource management will transform your base from a simple shelter into a formidable castle, ensuring that you will be the dominant lord. Now, you do have a set of skills: blood magic, unholy magic, illusion magic, chaos magic, and frost magic. Each one has a particular ability. Blood magic will focus on healing and utility spells. Unholy magic will center around debuffing enemies and summoning undead minions. The illusion magic specializes in deception and crowd control. Chaos magic excels in dealing high burst damage, while frost magic focuses on slowing and freezing enemies. But you only can put a certain amount of skills within your skill bar. So, let's be honest with yourself, you're not going to use every skill, and you cannot use every skill. So it's important to choose skills you prefer and stick to them, or take some time to experiment with different skills and see which ones are most effective for each boss fight. You do have multiplayer within the game. You can also host your own private server or join one of the servers that are already live. The official servers have a wipe system, so after a certain allotted period of time, everything gets reset on the server, including your beautiful castle. So be mindful of that when joining a server. You got to make sure you're playing the game for a good period of time. The PS5 controls I find to be absolutely fantastic, apart from one issue. So the controls were responsive and intuitive. Managing my inventory, track quests, and navigate the world, bang on. The user interface is clean and well organized, so that helped me through my battles. However, I didn't really like the camera controls. R2, so holding down R2 along with the right analog stick was one of the optional ones to control the camera, and the second one requires using L2 and R2 to control the camera. I just felt them weren't right. I feel personally that combining the camera and targeting into one control scheme via the right stick with panning control by R2 would greatly enhance my experience in the game, but that's my personal opinion. I also thought about a lock-on system. It probably would make taking the bosses down a bit more easier, but you still need to look out for everything the boss does. So in a sense of term, no. Dark Souls can have it, and Elden Ring can have it, so why can't this game have it? So a lock-on system, I think, should be implemented. The story, there is something to the story, but it's something that you either take note of or you'll just skip through because you're just enjoying the hunt. But I would say it's superb, okay? The lore is here and there, but even with that, I found the little tidbits here and there. Ooh, really? Nice. So in the end, I felt the story was, on a personal level, was very compelling. Some people would disagree, but that's my personal opinion, of course. So on the PlayStation 5, the visual and graphics uh, are rendered, as you know yourself, through cell shading. I would say each region is beautifully designed, from the lush forest to the swamps to the desolate ruins, creating a world that feels alive and immersive. The enhanced graphics of the PlayStation 5, including ray tracing and high resolution textures, make the world look even more better. Breathtaking, you could say. Even the character models and animations are fluid and lifelike, adding to the immersion that the game brings. Of course, the PC players will get better, obviously, because we're not stuck with limitations behind the console. The sound, well, I actually used a Dolby Atmos setup in my living room with Samsung, which offers 11 point something setup with the speakers, so rear speakers, front speakers, up firing, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely fantastic. But I also used the Sony Pulse Explorer to experience the game, and I have to admit it, everything came through beautifully. The ambient noises, from the rustling of the leaves to the dense, distant howls of wolves, they all created an atmosphere that this game had bang on. The music with its haunting melodies and dramatic crescendos also complements the game's dark undertone. It's just absolutely fantastic. But again, how you experience the game will be totally dependent on your setup, your headphones that you have, the earbuds that you have, the speaker system that you have. Not everyone's going to get the same experience. But for me, with those two setups, the Sony Pulse Explorer or a good Dolby Atmos sound system, you're going to get a fantastic experience within this game when it comes to sound. Highly recommend. Of course, the game wouldn't be possible without the commitment of them, Stunlock Studios, and of course the community. And Stunlock really did listen to the community. Each update brought new content, balanced gameplay, mechanics, and addressed community concerns. They have fostered a very, very strong and loyal player base. And of course, the PlayStation 5 version of the game includes everything from the PC update, so you don't miss out on a single thing. So overall, V Rising is a triumphant game. The game design, blending survival, action, RPG, and gothic horror elements into a cohesive and captivating experience. From its atmospheric visuals and immersive sound design, it's an engaging gameplay and rich narrative. This game offers an unparalleled journey into the world of the undead. The PlayStation version, of course, elevates the experience with enhanced graphics, immersive audio, and the innovative use of the DualSense controller. If you ever dreamt of walking in the shadows, commanding dark powers, and carving out your legacy in a beautifully haunting world, then Re-Rising is the ultimate adventure. Embrace the night, I would say. Rise to power and let your dark saga unfold. I don't emphasize this enough, but sound can truly make or break a game, just like gameplay, visual, story, presentation, performance. It's a crucial aspect of the overall experience. For me, the game not only stood out visually and in terms of gameplay, but with a good sound system setup, the experience has elevated even further. It's like being treated to a vampire buffet with perfect timed blood-curdling moments to sink your teeth into. I actually scored the game a 9 out of 10. I highly recommend this game. The negatives, I would say, are the difficulty spikes. Some of the voice acting is not like perfect, and it seemed rather limited. So maybe Stunlock Studios can add a bit more to that. And the camera controls, I personally don't like them, but I did get used to them. Of course, the good elements is the gameplay, the multiplayer modes, the storytelling, the visuals, and the sound design. So I hope you like my first video review. I know it's not perfect, but thank you very much for watching and listening.